Good evening, my friend. Before we begin, I want to tell you a little story. Something I coined years ago. Years ago. Years ago. Oh, I don't know how many years ago. 30. And we all noticed there was something very interesting about it. About 30 years ago, the term was called auto-mourn. And there were two autos that I enjoyed. One was auto loot. I noticed that in some particular parts of the world, some particular strata, folks who would find themselves in the position of seeing a problem, whatever, would immediately start looting. And I thought it was almost this reflexive type of behavior that whenever there was a disorder or a breakdown in order, people would start to loot almost not axiomatically, reflexively. Okay. And then something called auto mourn. And you're going to see it today. Chris Christopherson passed away. He was 88 years old. One of the highwaymen, actor, Rhodes Scholar, good singer, one of the worst singers, good writers, he's one of the worst singers ever. But part of that whole routine. And anyway, he died at 88. Okay. I never met him. I didn't know him. I didn't. I'm not taking any kind of glee or happiness in the fact that he is no longer with us. But I am not suggesting this is the end of music as we know it, or that somehow the world is over. But there are people, especially in the world of social media, who will come out of the woodwork and claim that this is the worst day of their life. No words. No words. No words. This can't be. This can, and they will talk about this. The most incredible thing in the world. Say, what are you? I know it's a. Why are you doing this? Why are you acting as though this is the end of everything? Why, dear God? But they don't know. Because as you probably know, in the world of social media in particular, you always act over the top. Everything you do is over the top. Everything. Give me an example of something that's happened. I got into sort of trouble, but people understood because I explained myself. I was doing radio at the time. I think it was Morning Drive, if I recall correctly. And it was 1998. Specifically, it was January the 5th, 1998. And all of a sudden, there was this sound, this terrible sound. And it was a news sounder. It was this incredible thing, this ding, 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 ding. This terrible sounder. I was like, oh my God, what happened? What is it? World War III? World War II? What happened? What happened? What was it? And they said, let's go right now to ABC News for a live update. This is live radio. I was like, oh my God, what is it? And this is what I heard. This just in, Sonny Bono dead. And I started laughing. I didn't laugh at the fact that Sonny Bono had died. I didn't laugh at the loss of life. I got you, babe, Sonny Cher. I laughed at the solemnity, the hyper lugubrious funereal overkill of it. That's what killed me. That's what killed me. It's incredible. Freedom starts off with the whole radical liberal world party is word salad gibberish for 3 years, 9 months, and 29 days. So what's new? Trump 24 and this trash once and for all ended. Absolutely. Freedom says, there it is, Lionel. It's Dumbo and Gumbo time. Where is Grandpa Joe? Ah, that's right. Barack is changing his diapers. And what's more important, they're actually closing the border. Indeed. And finally, Mark Davis' attorney says, Uncle Lenny, what do you recommend that the average schmuck do between now and election to make most effective use of time and resources? That's an excellent point. Let us get to this immediately. But the first point we must understand is to put things into perspective. And auto mourn is an example of, yet again, how the mainstream media, in particular, as seen on social media platforms, exaggerate. Veritas 464 says, "Good day, Lionel. How are things? Yourself and fine lady, nation healthy and happy. Cheers, mate." Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Veritas. I appreciate that immensely. One of the things which is interesting, I think, which is critical to note, is I think we got a lot of things to go through. First thing you have to do is maintain perspective, maintain what's going on, put things into perspective, never lose sight of your humanity, never go over, never follow suit with auto-mourn. By the way, two great pieces tonight dropping later on in the evening. If you are a member of Lionel Nation, you get it already. This is Tiffany Henyard. They're moving in on an eviction. Tiffany Henyard, the most corrupt person in the world. Why Eric Adams is being charged for basically upgrades, I have no idea. Tiffany Henyard is the worst. Also at Lionel Legal, more of this, one of the greatest sagas ever from a perspective. So please, I ask you to make sure you are subscribed, because I'll never forget this. Recently, we looked at a video, 47 or 57%, I can't remember, of the people who watched the video were not subscribed. Heresy. Now, let us begin. First, let us look and see how people are knowing things are changing. Why do I say this? They know that things are changing. They know that things are changing. They know that Trump is going to win. Trump is going to win. Barring something so cataclysmically unbelievable, you must understand Trump is going to win. And they know this. And they know this. And you ask yourself, well, how do I know they know this? Oh, they know this. Oh, they know this. They know this indeed. And a couple of reasons why I know they know this. Number one, do you remember when all of a sudden you couldn't say anything about the Rona? Remember COVID mania? Remember ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and this and that? If you even dared, to hint anywhere on a social media platform, you're doomed. You're finished. You're through. Well, guess what happened? Remember when all of a sudden it went away? Now you can say whatever you want. Remember that? All of a sudden, out of the blue, you could say whatever you wanted. It's like they lifted the ban. You remember that? They lifted the ban. It was like nothing I've ever seen before. They just said, it's okay now. I recently had a friend of mine, actually it was my wife's friend, young man, who got the most incredible, the most aggressive form of like a glioma, like a glioblastoma, brain cancer. Boom! From diagnosis to death, 3 weeks. Talked to a friend of ours today. She worked at a hospital. 2 or 3 people, young, boom. Now, I don't know, and I don't believe that anybody can extrapolate anything from that. Okay? I can't. Thank you, American Rebel. Thank you so much. But I will tell you this. There's something odd. There's something very odd about how many people are saying, I wonder why all these people are dying. And I don't believe we have the data, but you can talk about it now. Fauci's gone. He's gone. It's gone. It's over. The coast is clear. I don't know if there was an official edict, if they just, I don't know what happened. They just said, ta-da, there you go. The coast is clear. Now, what do I say about that? First, this week, Starmer and Zelensky meeting with Donald Trump. Do you have any idea of what that means? Any clue of what that means? That means he got the okay. They said to him, he is going to win. And the very fact that they didn't say, if you dare talk to him, if you dare, you can forget all the money because we're in a tough election and you Zelensky speaking with Trump will give you. No, they didn't do that. They know it's over. They know it. They know it. They're giving you the okay. Crypto Domini says they killed all the natural healers before the Rona. Interesting. Again, we can muse, and all I'm saying is do not miss this point. Do not miss this point. They let you speak. In essence, by saying, you were right. You were right. That's why you can start talking now. Okay? Okay. Let me tell you a little story. A while back, there was a guy. It was a story about the KGB. And the KGB, right around the time of the fall of the Soviet Union, wanted to know what people were thinking about this idea of all things, this idea of the Soviet Union. A good friend, American Rebel, love to Mrs. L. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for that, truly. And they wanted to say, well, why is this a point? I said, well, when people joke about certain things, that is a way of telling you what people are thinking as far as the issues of the day are. That's why political cartoons used to mean something. That's why political cartoons used to mean something. When you do not allow certain things, that means one of two things. When certain humor is not allowed, it means one of two things. Number one, it means that the political humor is too spot on, and we don't want any negativity to come from that. That's number one. And number two, and this is important. Number two, it's damaging. So it's either true or it's damaging. There are some other things, for example, we don't allow because if something is overtly racist or whatever. That's more of a decorum thing. But understand something. For the longest time, Saturday Night Live was the harbinger, this indicator of what people thought. Remember when Dan Aykroyd did Jimmy Carter? Looked nothing like Jimmy Carter. Did a little kind of a. Remember they goes, "Hey, Mr. Carter." Yeah, Jimmy. I'm freaking out, man. I think I took some brown nodules. Jimmy, was it long cylindrical? Yeah. You took some window pane. It's my form of acid. I'll tell you what you do. Just open the window, have some fruit juices, take it easy, put on some music like the Allman Brothers, because Allman Brothers. And it was so politically hip. Saturday Night Live was so hip. It did everything. It had George Bush, had Dana Carvey doing George Bush, but it wasn't mean. It wasn't nasty. Martin Higgins says comedy is our defense against indoctrination. And also comedy, thank you much, is a part of our reflection of a particular prism that we see truth through. Howie says public decency is swinging vogue this election. Oh, yes. But remember how they were talking about, and thank you, by the way, they were talking about things like Reagan, but it wasn't mean. It wasn't. There was a great Phil Hartman routine where he did Reagan, where he said, "Well, little boy, do you like jelly beans?" He goes, "Okay, bye bye." And the Nickelodeon goes, "All right, step to it. Come on, let's go." And he was acting like this real tough General Patton type. It was clever. It wasn't mean. You saw something, oh, no, that's pretty good. They did everybody. Bill Clinton, they made fun of Bill Clinton. They had, remember Phil Hartman did Bill Clinton, then Dana, then whatever that guy's there. They did everybody. They did everybody. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know when, the day the music died, they stopped. And everything got weird. Something happened. Our comedy got very dark. The idea of the joke, of the people, but political humor in particular was verboten. Saturday Night Live went through a period of absolute disaster. It was horrible with Alec Baldwin imitating Trump, but it wasn't funny. It was nasty, nasty. There's a fellow now, a young man interviewing Trump. They did a couple of assassination attempt jokes where they yes, but they balanced it. I'm coming to this. Lorne Michaels is full of shite. Robert says, "Is comedy dead?" It might be in a coma. Some forms of it, I think. I think comedy club stuff. I think we're in a doldrum. I don't think the days of political comedy are over. I don't want to be one of these people. Look, if something makes you laugh, that's good enough for me. That's all you have. You don't have to explain why something's funny to you. But the days of Mort Saul, Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, Bill Hicks, those days are over. Those are over and done with. Done. Finished. Bill Hicks was one of the most important, the most important album for me, which I thought was so brilliant, was Robert Klein's Child of the 50s. It was almost like he was a god to me. Until one time, he emailed me and told me what he thought of my politics and basically excoriated me. I have this email. It's like, this is your hero telling you to go. But I understand. Even he, whatever. But I think parts of it are sort of dead. There's no, again, I don't want to sound like I'm not the arbiter of what funny is. But all I know is when they had Joe Biden in, everybody at Saturday Night Live who were natural comedians said, can we do something? They said, no. 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 Can we do anything about Kamala? Well, there was a little bit before, a little bit. Maya Rudolph did a little bit, but nothing to, you know what I mean? But come on, Joe, please. No, nothing. You can only do Trump. And they lost their objectivity. They lost their humor. George Keane says, speaking of comedy, your shirt, I miss the former Japanese prime minister too. Yes, that joke was less sad than when I thought it up. Thank you. Yes, I do. Veritas says, you know what I did the other day? The music died. I drove my Chevy to the levee. Thank you. You made a funny. You actually made a punny. I'm going to put you in the penitentiary. So anyway, enough of this introduction. Why am I saying this? Trump is going to win. They're saying it's over. Don't worry. Everything's fine. Howie says 2015, Trump triggers something in half. The American public on both sides I've never seen in my life. Yep. I agree with you. There was a trigger. Watch. This is one of the most important. This is one of the best pieces ever. You have a genius, Dana Carvey. You actually have good writing. And Saturday Night Live, after 30 years of nothing, but more importantly, ever since Biden, when it's really bad, this was their moment. This is what's going on here. Pay attention. They're telling you all bets are off. It's okay now. This is the beginning of the line. By the way, I'm serious. Watch how this develops, this little thing, because it reminds people say, oh, yeah, he does do that. That was so important. You may think, oh, no, 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 no. This was NBC saying, it's okay now. It's over. We can say what we wanted to say forever. George Kane says, Mr. Al, do you think elector is radically different than 2016 and 2020? Kamala Harris is polling less well than Hill or JB. Can this be learned upon to predict DJT win? Well, please, thank you first. Please do not pay any attention to polls. I'm saying that for a variety of reasons. They're kind of like they're not really they're not what you think they are. Don't worry about this. The issue that people are saying now, the issue, and please, I hope you're following me at Lionel Media on Twitter or X, is they are freaking out over Tampon Timmy. Tampon Timmy Walz, not Waltz, Walz. They are freaking out. And I have this one particular piece I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to read this to you. And I'm telling you, just go to my you can see this for yourself. You can see this for yourself. It's where is it? Hang on a minute. Oh, here we go. This is from a fellow named Bad Hombre. And Bad Hombre, this is very good, and I retweeted it. He writes, and listen to this. According to aides that spoke to CNN, Tim Walz, Tampon Timmy, is having a hard time keeping his nerves under control for Tuesday's debate with J.D. Vance. Aides say Walz has expressed a lack of confidence in his ability to go up against a trained lawyer type like Vance. Walz is also feeling pressure that a bad performance will disappoint Kamala, who has already privately expressed frustrations with Walz's awkwardness and blunders on the campaign trail, such as referring to her as a prostituter. Gwen Walz, the wife, is angry that her husband is being put through the humiliation of debating Vance. I believe this. I believe every word of it. I believe everything. I believe everything. I'm not just saying it. I'm not just trying to be cute. I believe everything. George Keane says, A. Walz's wife is certifiably nuts. Well, now let me show you how good it is. Watch what's happening right now and watch specifically, because the one who absolutely does the greatest, when I say imitation, not imitation in terms of does he sound like him, but to capture the essence. The essence. Like Dana Carvey sounded nothing like George W. Bush, but he became the essence. Jim Gaffigan does Timmy Walz so well. This was deadly. Listen to what I'm saying now. Remember, if you've just tuned in, they sent the word to the SNL people and said, it's okay. It's okay. It's cool. It's done. It's over. You can let people know it's okay. Do you understand what's happening? It's okay. And I need the likes, folks. I need 1,000 likes. I hate to be like this. God, I hate when people do that. That's all I'm going to say. Please, if you love me, show me the way. All right. I caught this after the fact, like most people, because I can't watch that crap. And Jim Gaffigan has created the absolute most perfect version of Tampon Tim. Kendra says Mad Magazine was a great fun back in the day too, and it was critical. Oh my God, Mad Magazine and National Lampoon for sure. But remember Mort Drucker and Al Jaffe. Mad Magazine was, I loved it. It was the greatest parodies on everything. Okay, now watch this. Are you ready for this? You ready for this? This should scare. This is the nail in the coffin. Watch. Did you see that happen? The jazz hands, the awkwardness. It's over. It's over. Crypto says every day. I like that. I don't know what's every day, but every day, indeed. Diurnal, as it were. Show me that BDE, indeed. Now, listen to what's happening. I just hit my thing here. What's happening is that everybody recognizes the joke that he is. He didn't have to say anything. He's a joke. He's a big, he's a tub-o joke. He's not to be taken seriously. And they absolutely nailed it. The hands, watch, he can't do it anymore. And why is this important? What Trump imitation do you care about? We've seen it. The fellow who does Trump, he goes, who does the accordion thing, whatever. We've seen it. You've been there. It's not that it's not good. It's just there's nothing novel. But this, and Kamala is still, Maya Rudolph is still not really doing Kamala that well. Crypto says, show me the way every day. Indeed, Peter Frampton said it best. Do you see this? Do you understand this? Dear God. And little by little, they're showing you these things that are so important. They're letting there's this fella on MSDNC. Why they let him on, I have no idea. Look at this.
We ask a basic question to Hispanic voters. Which party do you more identify with? 37% now say Republicans, 49% say Democrats. But again, look at how this has shifted.
Now, he could have just stopped and said, well, 49%. Okay, that's it. Oh, no. He wants to explain.
Just the last dozen years. In 2012, this was a 41-point advantage for the Democrats. It has come all the way down to 12 points, Kristen. A 29-point drop in terms of that gap there on which.
Kristen looks like she just soiled herself. She looks like she just mistook something for flatus when it wasn't and just soiled herself. She looks disgusted with the moment. She looks like, shut this guy up. Why are we doing this? Why, children? Because they know they've lost. I'm telling you.
Party Hispanics identify with in just 12 years.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Unbelievable. Mel says, talking about Mad Magazine seems Kamala's campaign slogan is what? Me worry? Alfred E. Newman, indeed. Old Buddha of wisdom. Thank you so much, my friend. Isn't it grand? Isn't it just grand? Now, for no particular reason, I want to show you this, okay? Now, I remember there was a woman, who was she, who looked so scared? What was this? She looked like she just walked into a robbery. I don't know. It's going to drive me nuts trying to think, who in the hell was she? Anyway, I saw this one, and they got this young man, because they're paying nothing at these places. Nothing. That's why Hoda, Kobe, whatever her name, they threw her ass out. Why? They're not going to pay $8 million. There are people who said, I'll do it for $250 and a car fare. You're in. It's over. John Cameron Swayze, the great big, the Kirsten, Colin, Caitlin, that's over with. Look at this kid. I shouldn't say kid. He's probably a nice young man. But this guy that they've got doing the interview, he looks like he's doing a hostage video or like he's watching his first autopsy. Have you ever seen an autopsy? Have you ever seen? You haven't lived till they go like, and then, and you go, whoa, I knew it was there. I understood it was there. I know what that is, but I've never seen this. Oh my God. That's the way you respond the first time you see one. Watch this young man's face. I didn't even know what the story is, but I just had to share this with you.
Breaking news, President Joe Biden speaking at Dover Air Force Base just a short time ago, and among the topics, the situation in the Middle East and the recovery efforts following Hurricane Helene. NBC's Gary Grumbach has more for us from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. So, Gary, what did the president say about all this?
Hey there, Alex. Yeah, President Biden leaving Rehoboth Beach a little earlier than scheduled after monitoring the whole weekend these domestic and international events. I want to get this video to you right now. Here's what he said at Dover Air Force Base just a few minutes ago.
If you're going to talk to Prime Minister Netanyahu, you have anything to say to him?
Now, Joe's still. I mean, he may not have his fastball, but fastball. What does that mean? He's got his fastball, but he's got his whatever that Nerf thing is.
Yes, I will be talking to him, and I'll tell you what I say to him when I talk to him.
Yes, I will be talking to him, and I'll tell you what I talk to him after I talk to him. I don't know what I'm talking about.
All-out war in the Middle East be avoided. It has to be. We really have to avoid it.
Well, too late there, Joe. I don't know if you've been watching the Hezbollah, and now Israel's attacking Yemen. I think you're a little bit late on this one.
We've already taken precautions relative to our embassies and personnel who want to leave.
Oh, that's good. We're leaving. We're getting our embassy. We're getting out of there. We have no clue as to what is happening, but we want to get the hell out of there because we have to bring peace. But in the meantime, everybody out. Everybody out.
But we're not there yet, but we're working like hell with the French and many others to do the good work.
Okay.
Do you have any words for the victims of this case? Yes, it's tragic. As a matter of fact, we're trying to get the exact number. My FEMA advisor is on the ground in Florida right now.
Mr. President, would you intervene in the dock workers strike if they go on strike on?
Big dock worker strike. Huge dock worker strike. Get ready, my friends. Prepare with Lionel.com. Dock worker strike. Food supply chain. Hello. Hello. Do you hear what I'm saying? Prepare with Lionel.com. Hate to be so blunt. Emergency food, dock workers strike, supply chain problems like that. Everything stops. Boats, trucks, it stops. One little hiccup and that's it. Prepare with Lionel.com. They're warning you. They're telling you it's happening. Prepare with Lionel.com. My Patriot Supplies, best emergency food. They're a great sponsor. Listen, this is God. This is nature telling you, hello, dock workers. I'm telling you, problems. Pay attention now.
Tuesday?
No.
Why not?
Because it's collective bargaining. I don't believe in Taft-Hartley.
Don't believe in Taft-Hartley. Oh, look at this poor guy.
So starting with the Middle East, President Biden made a little bit of news there, saying he's going to be talking on the phone with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. That is the first time he will be doing that since August 21st. So they certainly will have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it bores the hell out of me, but there's something going on. I don't know. There's a story for you. There we go, crypto. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but I'm a little worried about this thing. I guess. I'm not really sure about that, but in any event, I guess so. Maybe. Truckers unite. Remember, if you got it, a truck brought it. That's right, my friend. And Freedom says Harriet Hageman in the ring with Kamala would be a first round TKO. Biden looks like he just got done taking in pain with roids. Thank you so much, Freedom. You write so beautifully. And you're able to expatiate the particular thoughts so perfectly. I thank you for that. You're able to speak in a way that, granted, may be disgusting to most, but nonetheless, I find comical. It's the greatest. Now, one more thing. This is one of those things which this is one of the reasons why you want to go to X or I don't do the TikTok. I'm sure it's just as good. Just I can't spread myself too thin. I do the Twitter or the X. Okay. I don't do the TikTok. But this is right now 10,000. This is 10,000. Let me see. Where is this? 10. Let me get okay. This is a record-breaking drone show in China with over 10,000 drones, okay? Now watch this. Over 10,000 drones. Let's kill that sound. Okay, now watch this. Watch this. Look at that. 10,000 drones. Now wait. Here we go. Oh, look at this. Isn't that something? Forget fireworks. This is something. 10,000. This is a murmuration. This is a classic murmuration. Now look at this. 10,000. 10. Now listen to me. You see all those up there? Yeah. Imagine they're weaponized. Imagine instead of this being a bunch of lights, they've got little projectiles. Look at this. Think about this. Doesn't this blow your mind? Who wants to see fireworks? Honestly, who? Doesn't this this kills me? Not even done yet. This is China. Drones. I'll never forget when I was first thought of that. I said, this is going to change everything. Doesn't that blow your mind? Isn't that something? It's incredible. It's incredible. The synchrony, the ability to match all that is just incredible. Who wants to watch a boring? Sorry, Grucci family. Plus, it scares dogs and it, the smell and the whole. You can do this anytime you want. You could just take them off. They fly. They're all programmed. Nobody can get hurt until they're programmed. Now, listen to me. What is happening right now is something so interesting, and I want you to listen to me. I keep saying that. I'm saying this far too much because I don't think you're listening to me. I've been telling you for the longest time that you've got to watch what is happening now. And the Democratic Party in today's, remember, the Obamas and the radical left are furious over the disaster of Kamala's word salad gibberish. It's called logorrhea. I love it's also called emotional incontinence. I love this. You have no idea how I love this. Oh, my great friend Regis Philbin. Regis here. Did you know that you can save 15% or more on your car insurance with Geico? It's so easy. Even a caveman can do it. Oh, he was the greatest guy in the world. I loved him. I cannot tell you. Thank you for that. Thank you. He's one of the few people that I don't know a lot of famous people, but this guy, everybody loved him. Made me feel. I was watching tonight's. Don't ask me why. I was watching some old wrestling. Oh, Gordon Soley. Oh, the stories. And Bobby the Brain Heenan. We had more fun than you can imagine. He was the greatest guy. It's so wonderful, YouTube. I get to see people that I knew, people that I loved, people that there they are. There they are in their prime. In any event. Now, back to what I was saying. Tuesday. You're going to be here. We're going to be live afterwards, of course, to go through this. He is going to destroy. Vance is going to destroy Tampon Timmy. And let me tell you something right now. Listen to me when I tell you this. Listen to me. I know you're listening to me. I'm saying that a lot. I don't like that. Listen to me. This would be good when you go to a drive-thru or Wendy's. Listen to me. Welcome to Wendy's. Going to help you. Listen to me. And you listen good. This is the guy who's supposedly going to save the day. America will not tell you, but we have realized exactly what gay mala is. She should have. How many of you, dear friends, agree with me? In fact, Mrs. L said this first. She's absolutely correct. Gay mala should have not even bothered going to the border. She should have just stayed home, because her late foray into this shows everybody how she doesn't care. She should have just stayed home. How many of you, dear friends, believe that? How many of you, dear friends, agree with me that her going at the last minute for this stupid photo op where she looks at a screen, she's talking to somebody, not flying over, but just they could have done this anywhere. She should have just not gone, because it reminded people, why didn't she show up? Why is she going now? What's the big deal? What changed? Why does she care now? She doesn't care. I'm telling you, read the crowd. All she had to do, and this is the part that I do not understand. If I ran her show, and listen to me, I keep saying, I'm serious, as Joe Biden would say, I would have her go 4 times, 10 times. You're not doing anything. I want you to get in that plane, and you're going to fly over. And we're going to cause all kinds of traffic jams. I don't know what's going to be traffic jam at the border, but you're going to go back. And then you're going to wait, and you're going to go back again. And we're going to have you meeting with people, and they're going to be telling you. And you might want to register and lose the $62,000 necklace, because they're going to be lose the earrings where you can pick up the sounds, and you're going to go there at least 3 or 4 more times. You're going to do it. They didn't do that. They didn't do it. They didn't do that. I'm doing the Biden now. I'm whispering. They didn't do that. They thought they didn't have to do this. I would have locked her in that room, and I would have said, you're going to talk with some people. Crypto says, so honored to be here in your contemporaneousness. Thank you, sir. Talk about it in terms of a temporal propinquity. What I would have also done is I'm going to say, I want you to meet somebody. These are people that we know. This is an acting coach. This is a memorizing coach. This is another coach. And we're going to teach you some things. We're going to learn plays. There are people, there are football players who have the IQ of a dolt, or a bolt for that matter, who learn plays and do. You're going to learn plays. And we're going to train you how to say certain things. You're not going to use the word, holistic 50 times. You're not going to talk about, when I'm raised in the middle class. No, they didn't do this. Why? I don't know. Why? Do you think maybe they're throwing this? How do you explain this? Look at me. Look at me. How do you explain that they're throwing this? This is a work. This isn't a shoot, to use wrestling term. This is a work. This is an angle. This is there. Nobody's calling the spots. Nobody's doing anything. I don't know what this is. What is this? This is a bunch of jabronis, a bunch of marks, a bunch of people running around doing this stupid lunacy for reasons I don't understand. I don't get it. They've had all this time. They could have moved her in. They could have been haphazard. They could have picked somebody. They could have picked Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom. Say what you want about him. He's deadly. He's deadly. He doesn't speak word salad. He's been a governor. He can talk. Why? I'm glad they didn't. I'm not complaining. Why didn't they do this? Somebody tell me. They're throwing it. How else can you read this? Somebody told SNL, go ahead, go in for the kill. You just basically told all these people, hey, guess what? We think she's a joke too. More other people, but she is a joke. There's nothing about her. This is not the Biden thing. She collects that when he said a joke. I'm just like you. That's enough. Did you see how the jokes about Trump didn't work because they've been around so long. The Trumps for the Trumps for joke. The jokes for Trump have been around. So we've inured, habituated, we've conditioned to them. They don't mean anything. They shot their wad, so to speak, years ago. This is old. What are you going to say about Trump? What can you say about him now? What joke? What punch are you going to land? What? We're coming up to the 15th round. He's still standing there. You haven't laid a glove on him, but he's been waiting. And he has been doing rope-a-dope the whole time, and you are throwing punches left and right. You're not going to have anything. This is going to be a Ali and Foreman. He's going to wait. It's like Mickey yelling, "Go Southpaw." And all of a sudden, you're done. You're done. And when it becomes the level where people are laughing at you, it's done. The Democratic Party needed somebody serious. The Democratic Party, if there was somebody somewhere, even a Whitmer or somebody, anybody who is not a joke. Don't they know casting? I was listening to some great. I've been listening to a lot of directors, Billy Friedkin and Kubrick and others, and casting is it. It's probably the most important. Getting the right person. If you had somebody that the Democrats could have really at least listened to, who wasn't a joke, they know what she's doing. They know the fact that she's spewing this gibberish. Why do you think that is? Tell me. And now's the time to go in for the kill. Now is when you go in for the kill. And you load them up. First, start with me. This gets people's attention. They start off with this. And they lean in. Look at this. Lionel Clothing Company. Thank you so much. You lean in and you say, they're eating pets in Springfield, Ohio. And they don't want you to know this. They get very upset. And I don't know why. And they don't want me to tell you again that they eat pets in Springfield, Ohio. I don't know why that is. They don't mind if I mention about the border. They don't care about the border. They don't care about any of this stuff. They don't. But they care about Springfield, Ohio. Haitians who can't drive. It drives them crazy. So with that in mind, let me tell you something. They're eating pets in Springfield, Ohio. Kitty, kitty, run. Unbelievable. That's number one. Number two, if Tampon Timmy had his way, you'd have tampon machines in all the little boys' rooms. This is what this sick man thinks. And how about that dancing? I don't want to say anything, but it's not weird. It's creepy. Let me ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. Answer me a real serious question. And if you ask America, would you let Tampon Timmy take care of your kid for an hour while you ran somebody to do an errand? You had to leave your kid, and he said, would you watch my son? You think I'm kidding? And Trump people would say, well, Trump may be a lot of things, but no, I would have no problem. But Tampon Timmy people say, ooh. Would you? You think I'm kidding, don't you? They would freak out. Remember this? But remember when they were saying, "Are you better off 4? Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?" No. But if JD Vance looks at the camera and says, "Let me ask you a question. Would you leave your kid with this guy for an hour?" He says, "I'm weird. This guy's creepy. There's something not right. What the hell is this all about? What is this? What is this?" This is a guy where you say, "Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh." If you found out that this guy was like one of those weird Applewhite or what's his name? Remember that? The member of a cult, and you found out that this guy was responsible for 9 missing nurses, wouldn't you say, "Uh-huh? Uh-huh"? No, you can't. You can't say that. But that is exactly what you're thinking. You're thinking to yourself, there's something not right about this. Huh? Huh? Crypto gets it. Don't you think to yourself, isn't there something a part of you that says, this guy, there's something weird. There's something weird about this guy. That's exactly the point. And they know it. And Gaffigan said it. This is the part. This is the thing I can't emphasize enough. Okay, that's the point. Now you can laugh all you want, you can say whatever, but this guy comes across like a creep. Biden didn't do that. Biden came out old. And they're also getting upset with President Trump for saying that she's mentally defective. Keep it up. You only take flack when you're over the target. Keep it up. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm not trying to just be mean. I want to throw your game off. I want you to lose your stuff. I want you to go, I told you how he should have gone after her and just thrown her off. Ask her a question. There's going to be no more debates. No more debates. Do you hear that, Mr. President? No more debates. But when it comes to old Tampon Timmy, this is a guy who doesn't know the difference between IVF and IUI. He said that President Trump, was somehow against IVF. Then he claims his wife had it and she didn't. Look, I don't think it's anybody's business, but you brought it up. And if you don't even know enough about what it is that your wife had or got that brought you the beautiful children, which you have, which is fine, and you go on TV and you didn't clear it up, you didn't say to somebody, say, "Hey, listen, before I mention this IVF thing, let me make sure. Did she get IVF? Was that it? Or was it intrauterine insemination?" That's a little different than frozen embryos. You got that? If he is so sloppy, if he is so careless that he doesn't understand the basics of that, how do you think he's going to do with Lavrov or with Putin or somebody from Erdogan? Or if somebody talks to him about certain types of munitions, you think that old Coach Timmy here is going to be able to understand the nuances? I don't know about that. And then he says he was a command sergeant major. He was a master sergeant. In fact, our friend Freedom says the lights are on, but nobody is home except Kamala and her lips. Oh, not going to make any with Willie jokes, but you can read that for yourself, my friend. You rascal, you. Thank you. Tahuya Bar and Grill says, that's what we love about our Uncle Lenny. Come for the information, stay for the laughs. God bless you. This is exactly what I would go for. Because I'm going to tell you something. Listen to me. I'm saying this quite too often. Not everybody's like you. Not everybody's smart like you. They don't understand it. You know what's going on. I can say things to you other people will not understand. I can say things to you that other people will not understand. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Does that make any sense to you? Because it's important that you grasp the idea of what it is that I'm trying to say. And it's important that you grasp completely and totally the idea of how this thing works. I said this the other day, and I'll say it again. Elections are not about issues. Elections are about feelings. Elections are about a lot of things. Elections are about this notion of why. I told you this before. I love advertising. I love the way people try to figure out why does this product work and this doesn't. Why is this bag of chips more enticing than the other? I don't know. I don't know this. It's one of those things. And what it is you've got to get down to the specifics. Howie Brown says election is like a pros championship. Win the election at all costs. Oh, absolutely. Well, your shirts are always great. Recommend a company. I'm going to be selling my own stuff, by the way, very soon for some merch. Crypto says, wish there was a meme to end the aberration discussed. You mean the abortion discussed or aberration? I like aberration even better because when I aberrate, well, as you can imagine, it gets kind of out of control sometimes. But I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest person I ever saw, the greatest politician was Ronald Reagan. When Ronald Reagan did the Morning in America speech, I said, this is absolute genius. Give me a feeling. Give me the feeling. Give me the idea. Give me the sense of something. Give me the Friedkin was talking about this. Do you remember? Do you remember the first time you saw The Exorcist? The Exorcist freaked people out. And he said, if you don't leave with something visceral, French Connection, the chase scene or whatever, he said, then I'm wasting my time. I want you to feel something about this thing that I'm doing. And I would have the greatest people of all time behind it. Howie Brown says competition in government will benefit society. Absolutely. Of course, competition benefits everybody. The whole notion of capitalism. Absolutely. Crypto says typo. Yeah, abortion. Indeed. Abortion, nobody cares about abortion. Abortion is a waste of time. Abortion is the best they had. Nobody cares about this. She made some joke about some vaginal reference or something. Nobody's caring about this. It's of no concern to people. I can't say it enough. Nobody is worrying about this. They want at this point, this feeling. Let me also tell you something. When we get at this part of the election, this very interesting point, people will say, I've heard everything. And the undecided independent voter or somebody else who might switch over may say, you know what? The hell with it. I can't. I can't take her anymore. I wanted it. Because now she's just imploding. She is saying nothing and doing nothing and saying nothing. And they've issued the dog whistle. You can see it on CNN. You can see it on MSDNC. You can see the negative stuff. You can see Jake Tapper. You can see other people. You can see folks saying, look, she doesn't have it. It's done. It's finished. The only way is if they steal it fair and square. The only way. And also spend more time. They're talking more and more about ballots and names being removed. 700,000 names. You mentioned Kristen Lay loves Reagan. Reagan was the greatest. Did you see the Reagan movie? Did you? Please see it. Please see it. Dennis Quaid is fantastic. Please see it. Ronald Reagan wasn't perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. But he was something. Lenny Skutnik. First time he ever did that, that was him. He knew how he looked. He had the rouge. He had the look. It was perfect. Everybody else, nobody worked on that like he did because he was an actor. Nobody ever worked on that. Nixon didn't have it. Other people didn't have it. He is remember when Reagan first had his first debate, it was horrible. Roger Ailes, who I think was a producer or something for Mike Douglas or something, said, you're doing this wrong. And he did it the right way. He did it precisely the right way. My friends, I want to tell you, be good, be happy, be great, be glorious, be thrilled, dear friends, be thrilled. Crypto Domini, thank you, my brother. Howie Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. Johnny Maz, the Spaz, thank you. Tahuya Bar and Grill. Freedom, Lionel Clothing Company, thank you. Regis Philbin, oh, what a great guy. I've told you his stories. I don't want to bore you with them. Let me see who's here. Clunna Steve Dreamkiller. I'm sorry I missed this. You inspired me to inspire myself in a holistic, hopeful vision of my middle-class childhood, lived freed from what has been, and I thank you. I'm sorry I missed that, dear friend. That is good. I love that. I love that. Old Buddha, thank you. Mel, thank you, dear friend. Kendra, Set Loudter. I cannot pronounce that, but thank you. George Keene, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let me see. Veritas, Robert Bone, Bad to the Bone, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Martin Higgins, American Rebel 27. Thank you. Mark Davis, Attorney. Thank you. You all are splendid. You are without peer. You are great. You are glorious. You are magnificent. I thank you for that. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. And I believe I missed one. I believe Mr. Crypto Domini said, I think the media flopping is covered for them never reporting actual real-time truth enough. I don't know. All I know is, for whatever reason, it's like there are people when the Green River Killer stopped. Remember that? For a long time, I said, what happened? I think it was years. He just stopped. Why? I don't know. Is he dead? I don't know. Did he almost get caught? I don't know. Did he get caught? Is he under prison system? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know how to read these people. I just thank you. But we're going to win, damn it. And don't forget, October the 26th. October the 26th at the Cutting Room. I want to meet you. We're going to be together and we're going to have a wonderful, glorious time. Ladies and gentlemen, October the 26th, please join me for the fun, the frolic, the thrills, the heightened excitement. Yes. Hey. All right, dear friends. Have a great time. We will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to follow Mrs. Al at Lynn's Warriors. It means so much to me. And your love is so appreciated. All right. I'm feeling great. So are you. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Until then, remember, don't forget, make sure you are subscribed to Lionel Nation, Lionel Nation, Lionel Nation. Make sure you are subscribed right this moment. Double check. And if you're not, how dare you subscribe? By the way, we got a great spot dropping at 9 and one at Lionel Legal. You should try to put that. Be a member of that as well. All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious night. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m. And until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dead.